everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Thursday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. It is currently 5 p.m. British time, and today I've got a sensitive topic for you, so I will put a trigger declaration out now. If you are of a sensitive nature and you're going to find things like the topic I'm going to be discussing upsetting, I strongly advise you to click off this video and watch some of my other previous content. This video is going to be talking about the topic of abuse towards a autistic boy. So I have put the trigger warning out. If you find the topic of abuse triggering or upsetting or distressing, please do not watch this video. Please click off and watch some of my older content, and then click back onto this video when you think you're ready and sensible enough to watch it. So I want to talk about this because it's about a North Yorkshire teacher called Acacia Welburn. She's just been sentenced at the age of 26 to 2.5 years in prison. So I'm going to read the article from the North Yorkshire Police. It says, Acacia Welburn, aged 26, has been sent to prison today on the 26th of July, which was back on, I believe, Thursday just gone. For 2.5 years, she pleaded guilty to 3 charges of sexual activity with a child by a person in a position of trust. She appeared at York Crown Court for sentencing. Her reign of abuse took place while she was working in a position of trusted care. Sexual contacts start with an autistic boy she made contact with on his social media account, which involved the sharing of sexual messages and sexual images. A shocking string of abuse followed on from this, where she met the victim to have sex with him in her car and in her flat. Detective Constable Alison Morris, who is the sexual abuse team from the North Yorkshire Police, said, I cannot commend the victim enough for their incredible courage and determination that they have shown. This is another case that shows it is possible for victims to seek and receive justice. So that is what the official police statement is. So what is my thoughts as a autistic woman on this case? My thoughts on the case of Acacia Welburn, who had sex with an autistic boy whilst working at school. 1, you make me feel sick. You are evil. You took advantage of a vulnerable young person you were trusted to work with, who trusted you. You abused your position of power to abuse and to manipulate a young person with a mental disability. 2, you made sure that you contacted him on his social media account. So that, to me, is premeditated. That's disgusting. That's just evil. 3, you should never have contacted him on his social media or even gone onto his social media account. That is professional misconduct and gross misconduct, and should have resulted in an immediate sacking from your teaching position and from you being barred to ever work again with young people, again, whether that's in teaching or education or social work or whatever you may go into in the future. What made you think it was appropriate to do this to an autistic, young, vulnerable person? Also, how were you allowed to work in a position of trusted care? Did you have an enhanced criminal records check done, and was it up to date? 2, how were you left unsupervised and being able to contact the student in the first place? 3, why was you trusted to work with this vulnerable person when you knew that they were already vulnerable? 4, 2.5 years sentence is a complete and utter joke. The UK criminal system should have punished her way more than this. It should have been at least a life sentence, or at least a good 8 to 10 years sentence. She abused a vulnerable person, knowing she was in a position of trust, knowing she was responsible for his care, and yet she still sexually abused him, knowing he was a minor, which is even more of a serious offence here in the UK to begin with, and the fact that she'll serve half that and get out. That, to me, screams complete injustice for the autistic boy and his family, their friends, the school in question where she was a teacher of education. And I hope to God that the UK police, the North Yorkshire police, make her sign the sexual offenders register. I hope that she'll never, ever, ever be allowed ever again to teach in education or go near another student with any form of special educational need or disability or mental health condition. This is completely inappropriate. This just shows that she had obviously previous form, or that she was intending to harm someone with a physical and mental condition. This is completely sickening. It turns my stomach at the thought of it, knowing that she did this to somebody that's vulnerable, that probably was too scared to speak up, or at the time didn't know what to do. This is disgusting. You abused your trust, you abused your position, you abused your power, knowing that you'd probably get away with it or potentially not get found out till later, and now you are being convicted. Now you've been sentenced to 2.5 years behind bars, which thank God the criminal system has caught up with you, and you have been sentenced, you have been convicted by a UK court of law, by your locality, and I hope to God that you really do get either rehabilitated, or you never ever again get to work with any kind of children, adults. You are just evil. You're sick, you're twisted, you make my stomach feel absolutely in knots. I'm an autistic woman. I am sickened and shocked at your behaviour. How could you do this to somebody with autism? How dare you? How dare you abuse somebody in your position of trust? You were trusted. You had control over this student. You were trusted to work with him. And the fact that he was a minor is even worse. It's just disgusting. It's unhealthy. It's just not right. You broke your moral compass. You know, you went after someone that was vulnerable. How could you? Knowing you worked with him and you were in a school, and it's just, there's something not right here. It just is. It's foul. It's disgusting. It makes me so sad that this seems to be commonplace now. I read so many stories about autistic people being abused physically, mentally, sexually. You know, this isn't the first case I've heard of, but this sickens me to my core. Literally, I am sickened. I am angry. I am frustrated. How could this go on? How could this happen in a school where there's other students, there's other teachers? Surely something would have been picked up, would have been noticed. She would have been flagged. There should have been a red flag on her record for her behaviour. The fact that she went onto the boy's social media account and contacted him. Surely that's against her teaching position. Surely that's confidentiality breach as well, and data protection breach. So she's not only broke the law with that as well. It just makes me sick. It makes me sick. It makes me feel so disregarded and worthless, and like autistic people mean nothing. Like, it's like we're an easy target for you kind of people. You're a monster. You're evil. You're disgusting. And I hope to God you are truly sorry for what you've done, because you abused somebody in a position of trust. You abused someone you knew was vulnerable. You knew, obviously, he was on the spectrum, and the fact that you still did it and met up with him and carried out your deeds and your acts on a vulnerable person just shows what kind of low-life, disgusting, wasted piece of space that you actually are. It's just disgusting. No, I can't even begin to comprehend why. I had to bring this to the public attention. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.